Morning, everyone. My name is Avon. You guys can call me Pax. My last name is Hernandez. I'm here to show you guys my sketchbook tour. I mainly like to focus or emphasize on like surrealistic character designs, and I usually start off with an idea. Usually they tend to be more on the scary side, if you will. Mainly just because growing up, I used to be tortured by my parents and my brothers and stuff watching scary movies. They would love to make me sit down and watch them, and I as a kid was very terrified of the dark and clowns. But growing up, I really learned to kind of take back that fear and kind of use it for myself. So my idea here was, I used to always be scared of Alice in Wonderland. I don't care how often you told me not to be, it scared me. The idea of it was just really freaky. So I just began drawing off a creepy looking face. I like to do SFX makeup, so the idea is to one day be able to make prosthetics for this face and put it all together into a little short film. But usually I began with drawing a rough sketch. I usually only use my lead pencils just because it's pretty thin and I have a really heavy hand. So I'll just use like the very end of this pencil and kind of start marking off lines and whether or not I want to keep cheekbones or if I want to make the face rounder, thinner. But after that, I'll usually go in with my Papermate gel pen or my Pilot G2, which I just had. Must have dropped it. But I usually go in and I'll outline everything that I really like and solidify it a little bit. After that, I always go in with my Prismacolors. I love my Prismacolors. It's literally everything I use for all of my projects. I usually start off with my light tones just because I feel like, again, I have a very heavy hand, and so when it comes to dark tones, I tend to mess up. So I usually would go in with, say, a pink and start off in the center, kind of give a good idea of what the overall tone of the jacket would be or whatever I'm coloring. And I usually go on with something mid-toned, like red, and go ahead and fill in more towards the edges where I know shadows are going to be collecting. And by the very end of my drawing process, I'll probably go in with something like a super dark red to go ahead and get those shadows in there. I've always been a huge fan of bold, bright colors, so I always go ahead and go in with black at the very end and really get those shaded spots, just because I really like when things are in the dark. It really makes my mind feel like things are real. When it comes to these character designs, I've always been very good at face forward, like portrait mode, but I'm trying to really work on my backgrounds and stuff, so that's kind of where you see me right now. Me trying to push myself to do something I don't usually do. That's my cat. But as you can see, if I were to show you a different project that I'm also working on, you can see that I'm not very good at backgrounds, so I'll be working a lot this year trying to improve on my background skills. But I always follow the same progress, if you will. Always bolden the lines and solidify what I want, and then at the very end of my projects, I'll usually go in with a really bold black marker and fill in all of the edges and just give a solid tone. Sometimes my ideas will progress to a point where I don't feel very comfortable with hairstyles or clothing articles, so at times I'll go ahead and completely alter a character piece and hope that it works for the best. Thank you guys for watching my sketchbook tour.